Okay, mes amis, prepare yourselves because I will rock you. All right, well, how am I going to rock you? Well, Immanuel Velikovsky, my hero, predicted all kinds of things long before they were able to do this, which is observe what Venus and Mars looks like and what the Great Red Spot looks like. Let me explain, and this should blow your mind. Okay, I rock you right now. That, my friends, is Mars. Now, this is the trench that crosses all across Mars. It's wider than the United States. Enormous trench. This is Venus, and this is all kinds of what I would consider to be electrical discharges. You see all that looking stuff there? What is that all about? This is all around the whole planet. Now, Mars, same thing. There's gigantic gouge across the whole thing. Well, guess what? Velikovsky said Venus hit Mars and caused this. And in the same time, it almost hit Earth and caused a cataclysm on Earth. And guess what? Nobody knew that this existed. And when he said it, when he claimed these things, nobody could see this. They called him an idiot. All right, here was his book where they destroyed him for making these claims. This was in 1950. He wrote this book, Worlds in Collision. Totally destroyed by everybody. Carl Sagan was vicious against him. And what he said was, the book postulates around the 15th century BC, not long ago, the planet Venus was ejected from Jupiter as a fiery comet or comet-like object that passed near to Earth, which literally destroyed Earth. An actual collision is not mentioned because it didn't really hit the Earth. It hit our atmosphere and bounced off it. The object allegedly changed Earth's orbit and axis, twisted it, causing innumerable catastrophes, the Great Flood, the whole thing, that are mentioned in early mythologies. Every single culture had the same story: giants, dragons, a great flood. All religions from around the world. The book was heavily criticized as pseudoscience, catastrophism. The guy's crazy. Many of its claims are completely rejected by established scientific community as they are not supported by any available evidence. Crazy you people are. All right, they attack Velikovsky, they attack me, they attack anybody that comes out with evidence. Velikovsky knew these things happened before anybody else could. They didn't have any cameras that could see this. There was no telescopes that could see this. Nobody had any clue that this actually did happen except Velikovsky, because he went and did the research. And the planet Venus was literally born from the Great Red Spot, which is literally a vagina. And it is that size, the size of Earth, same thing, and it popped right out just like this. It took 7 days to come and impact us and then come around and hit Venus. Hit Mars and create all these gigantic lightning storms and all this. This is all electrical discharge. And this is, it scraped right across Mars. There's just no question what happened here. And it doesn't look good for the future either. Okay, as I showed you, there was no way anybody could have known that Venus and Mars collided. This is the core ideas in Worlds in Collision. And it says that the book proposes that Venus formed inside of Jupiter. It was, and what it says in the ancient text is a fiery comet was born from the feared god Jupiter, which hit us, or almost hit us. And this was around the 15th century BC. It was ejected from Jupiter as a comet or comet-like object, subsequently passed near Earth. That causes the Great Flood. And it says an actual collision with Earth is not mentioned because it hit our atmosphere. In doing so, it changed Earth's orbit and axis inclination, causing innumerable catastrophes, which were identified in early mythologies. That's the Great Flood. Religious traditions from many human civilizations around the world. 52 years later, it again made a close approach, which is Venus, stopping the Earth's rotation hitting against our magnetic field, pushing back, and they sort of causing more catastrophes. Then in the 8th and 7th century BC, Mars itself made close approaches to the Earth, and this incident caused a new round of disturbances and disasters. I believe that Mars was actually hit by Venus, or very similar, because you can see Mars is destroyed. Mars was basically torn to shreds by something. Whatever hit it pretty damn hard. And you can see Venus looks like it ejected all. Venus spins backwards. All the other planets do what they call the right-hand rule. Venus is the only one that goes backwards, basically. Uranus has a little backward twist to it, but not like Venus. And this thing just has got a magnetic field that's just off the charts. And that's what this is magnetic discharge. And that's what blew the hole into Mars. This caused that. And the planet was born from Jupiter's vagina, which is right here. And that is a vagina, my friends. And that right there is the same little tag that's in a vagina that holds it in position in the human body. It's a little tab lock. You see this? I could show, as a matter of fact, I should show you. And this is the hairline right around it. I mean, it's a vagina. There's no question around it. That's the clitoris. This is the vaginal canal. These are the labia majora and minora. It's 100% a vagina. All right, I'm going to show you a vagina compared to the great red spot, and it is exactly the same. And here it is right here. Get ready. Here it comes. Don't forget. What we're going to be looking at is this little tab right here. You see the little neck coming up to it and the little round spot? That locks this in. All the rest is quite obviously the anatomy of a vagina. Now, let's see if we can find that, and here it is right here. You see that? That's that little spot that I'm talking about. The rest is it's exactly identical. No difference whatsoever. The clitoris, all that big tissue at the top, the majora, the minora and the majora, the labia, the hair follicles around the outside, it's exactly what it is. Exactly. There's that little tab that I'm talking about, and that's locks this body part into the body. And here's even the hairline is here. And this is a bump. That's why they call it a storm. It has nothing to do with being a storm. You see this? The planet is spinning this way. This is a bump sticking up. There's nothing going on here until it hits there. It swirls around it, and then they say, "Oh, this is a big storm." It's not the storm. It's a bump causing disruption in the airflow that comes by it. I'm telling you, the NASA and the rest of them, I can't believe the incompetence. It's absolutely stunning. As a matter of fact, I don't believe that anybody could be this incompetent. So there's something else going on. Now, what they're doing, I have no idea, but I can tell you what, I can see what I see, and you can see what you see, and if you believe what they're saying, then you got a problem with your mind. Okay, I just wanted to throw that out as a teaser, because people don't realize how much the evidence there is. It's just the evidence is overwhelming, just absolutely, completely overwhelming. And he knew all of these things before anybody else did, and they were all written in the ancient texts. So that's what we're going to do, is go through all of he's got a lot going on in he's got several books. He had Worlds and Collisions, Ages and Chaos, Oedipus and Akhenaten, and I think there was another one. But all of this relates to this tumultuous time where the world was just basically destroyed and then came back. And then everybody just forgot about the destruction, although there was some places where these documents were stored and hidden because they didn't want this stuff known. Nobody wants this stuff known. They don't want it known right now. I guarantee you this is not wanted to be known right now. Regardless if it's true or not, it's not. They don't want it known. That's why I have been attacked so voraciously for the last 10 years, 15 years. and I'm just never going to give up. So, and neither did Velikovsky. He died being called a fool, and nobody would even know his name now if I didn't write my book about him. When I wrote my book about him to preserve his memory, I started trying to find out anybody that even knew about him. And all I ever heard was, I never heard of the guy, or, oh, that guy, what a whack job he was. Now, if you don't understand and you don't do any research, yes, you just have to say he was crazy. But when you look at what was presented and with the evidence that exists, he was not the crazy one. All right, that's it. Now I'm going to go into a big, long dissertation about this. And keep with me, because Velikovsky is going to take quite some time to cover. There are going to be a lot of videos about him.